Welcome back to our YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. Ever since the president made those negative pronouncements against the judiciary, castigating judges who are making verdicts that go against his development agenda, he has really endured a barrage of attacks from the opposition, the judiciary, the Law Society of Kenya, lawyers from different quarters. And I've seen people say how Martha Koome has dropped a bombshell when she told William Ruto that William Ruto might plunge this country into anarchy. But I was trying to look at the evidence that indeed Martha Koome was enraged by Ruto's attacks. This is not the first time we have an altercation between the executive and the judiciary. In the last regime, David Maraga fell out in public with the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Now, the difference between Maraga and Koome is that Maraga never feared anybody. I think Maraga only feared God. And when he realized that he was being frustrated and Uhuru Kenyatta was manifesting certain behavior that was tantamount to undermining his office, he never went on Twitter. He never sent, statements to newsrooms. He took on the executive arm of the government. And this happened twice. The first one was when he realized that the executive did not want to give the judicial arm of the government enough finance to ensure that they complete a backlog of cases that were pending in the courts. And he confronted the then President Uhuru Kenyatta. Then came a time when the president declined to appoint into offices judges that were supposed to occupy the appellate court, the court of environment and land, and the court of labor and relations. And David Maraga tried to seek a one-on-one meeting with the then president when he realized that his efforts were becoming futile. He called a press conference and he was not even flanked by any other authority. He went alone and confronted Uhuru Kenyatta. Take a look.
You also know that I have, for a long time now, unsuccessfully sought an appointment to discuss this issue with you, leaving me with no option but to raise the matter through this public statement. Some of the individuals the executive claims to have adverse information against are serving judges. If the executive's allegations are true, these persons should not then be serving as judges. However, no evidence whatsoever has been availed to the chairperson, both during the interviewing process and after. The president cannot change the list, review it, or reject some names. He cannot decide to cherry pick from the list of nominees. The government cannot demand of its citizens the obedience of the law. It is itself disobeying with abandon.
I was trying to compare Maraga's confrontation with the then president and what Martha Koome is doing today. And I want to ask you a question because I have a contrary opinion, and this analysis is very unpopular. It might go against what you believe in, but allow me to prove to you that in my very considered opinion, I don't think that the president of the judiciary is committed, or rather was really bothered by the statements from William Samoei Ruto. The question I want to start by asking you, Do you think Madam Koome sent, because she sent certain messages to the newsroom, do you think it was voluntary or it was as a result of pressure from all quarters? Because at some point people were asking, where exactly is Madam Martha Koome when the judiciary is enduring a lot of onslaught from the person who is supposed to protect them? In my very own submission, Madam Koome was forced to react because of pressure. And I want us to look at some of the things that she said, and I will tell you that I do not believe that Madam Koome. One of the things that she said was, any concerns regarding misconduct or corrupt acts by any judge or judicial officer should be channeled to the Judicial Service Commission for firm and swift action. She further said, declarations of corruption in public events and activities without corresponding procedural reporting mechanisms exposes an institution such as the judiciary to public suspicion and distrust. This trend, if let to continue, will break down the governance structures set up by the Constitution, exposing Kenya to anarchism as opposed to democratic reverence and the rule of law. The reason I'm reading this, I want you to get the fact that there is nowhere she confronted William Ruto. Yet when William Ruto was talking, he was very direct. He confronted the judges. There was no way or nowhere. She's also saying that attacking judges and judicial officers who made a decision in the public undermine all the values of our constitutional orders. She keeps on talking about the Constitution, which I don't think they even respect. And finally, when the time came when we thought she would confront that office, this is what she said. And I want you to look at this vis-a-vis what William Ruto said. And in fact, William Ruto said, moving forward, he will not respect these court rulings and verdicts. And this is what Madam Koome is saying. I will engage the executive and legislature at the highest levels to implore on the importance of mutual comity of arms. In addition, I will seek concrete information and reports on the referenced acts of impunity and corruption so that we can address them comprehensively as we have done in the past. Now, even in this statement, she's saying that she will go and look for the head of the executive, who is the president, William Ruto, and maybe look for Wetangula, who is the head of legislative arm of the government, so that they can have an amicable solution. And then in a quick rejoinder, she's telling us that they want to look at the judges that William Ruto were talking about, maybe if they are corrupt. If you ask me, this is not how to deal with a president who is acting with impunity. And if you allow me, I will tell you reasons why I believe that Madam Koome was acting under pressure. Number one, the statements that she gave came rather too late. From the time when the president decided to launch an onslaught against independent judges to the time that she released the statement, that was too long for me. As a president of the judiciary, she should have acted almost immediately. And this tells me that it wasn't from her. I remember there was a time when, during the demonstrations, when Babu Owino was arrested, detained, and when a judge of a high court in Nairobi released Babu Owino and on bail. When Babu Owino was released and they were trying to organize for his bail, pay some money, he was re-arrested. And then on that very day, the police went into the courts with the tear gas. When people were complaining, it took the judiciary sometimes to release a statement, just telling you that they are enjoying a mutual relationship. And this was forced as a result of pressure, because the Law Society of Kenya was making statements, Raila Amolo Odinga, all the departments, opposition, activists, and she was acting under pressure. Number two, she didn't directly address William Ruto. I don't know whether I'm wrong on this. Maybe there is a kind of professionalism that she was trying to exercise. But if you listen to Maraga was saying the president wants to do this, the executive wants to do this. On her part, she was very general, attacking the judges, anybody who wants to do this. She was, it is like she was addressing a general public, yet this was a statement that was concerned about a particular person, the president of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto. And she fears a direct confrontation between them. And this tells me that she's not very serious about this. And as I said, I could be wrong. I could be wrong on this, but I simply believe that she's not. Number 3, these people enjoy a cordial relationship. And you cannot deceive me that because of the statements that William Ruto made, now they are enemies. No. I still believe these people are friends, and this is why Madam Koome does not want to direct her comments to the executive, to William Ruto. She doesn't want to call him out. They enjoy a cordial relationship that started way long in 2022 when they nullified they ruled against the BBI. They ruled to give the governor of Nairobi a green light to contest, and we know that they still enjoy this. You can never convince me. I should wait maybe in the future and see a tangible reason why these people, I can be convinced that they are not working together. Let me tell you this. These people know something about the last elections. They are tied together in it. That is the truth. There is something that they know together. As a result of that, they can never part ways. They cannot. I'm telling you this, and I am deeply convinced that that is a fact. And I still repeat that the statements that William Ruto made, were it not for pressure from other groups and from the judges, there wouldn't have been any reaction from this office. And I know she said she'll protect them, the Judicial Service Commission and all that, suggesting to William Ruto what he must do when he feels disgruntled. It is not like the president does not know. They know exactly what they should do. Let me tell you this. Both Madam Koome and William Ruto have a common enemy. The enemy is Raila Amolo Odinga. Take this to the bank. The kind of ruling that Madam Koome did with the kind of words that she used tells you. And I don't know Raila amekosea Koome wapi, but these people are no longer friends. After that verdict, Koome kept on tweeting, when you see people talking about you, they can't defeat you. Conducts that I don't think befits a judge of her caliber. Because they have a common enemy, Raila Amolo Odinga, these people will still work together. These people will still do their things together. In fact, if elections were conducted today and we have and that case ends up in the apex court, Madam Martha Koome will still rule in favor of William Samoei Ruto. I refuse to believe that she's serious about the stern warning, the comments and all that. I don't think so. Deep down her heart, they still work together with William Samoei Ruto. And as I said, in my considered opinion, that is what I believe in. I know this might not be very popular because people have said, oh, she sent a warning, it was a bombshell, Mimi. I don't think so. Ladies and gentlemen, scrutinize it further and just wait for the movements of what will transpire after this, and you will know. The kind of impunity with which William Ruto was warning the judges tells you that he knows that these people have been pocketed. There is a kind of state capture. If, and let me use the word, if at all, these people did their, let me call it, their things in the last elections, that alone compromised the judiciary, and Madam Koome can never do anything. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you think I'm lying, just watch the space and you will realize what I'm telling you. These people are allies. Let me remind you of this as I finish. The judge who ruled against the Finance Bill 2023, where she or he was transferred to Mombasa in what we were told is a normal operation. When the judges that ruled about the housing finance and they said it was unconstitutional, immediately the lawyers of the government appealed, and we were told the government will continue taking money up to 2024. Scrutinize this with a fine-tooth comb and you will realize what I'm talking about. That is my take.